11 doubles. Gets set for the first pitch of this game. And swings and fouls it back. Strike one. Kinsler begins the day at 287. Omar Vizquel played second yesterday with Kinsler getting a rest. He's been tapering off lately, but still those numbers are excellent for Kinsler. He's sixth in the league in total bases. On Washington, selectively resting a couple of his regulars yesterday. Hampton misses, and we'll keep an eye on Hampton today because of the left thumb injury that he had in Chicago. Cut the left thumb on a soap dispenser in the shower after the finale of that series last Sunday in Chicago. That affected him in his last start. Flared foul, lands Berkman over, can't get to it. 1-2, and Hampton, the trainers used some super glue to close that cut in his last start, but that created a slick left thumb, which caused some problems throwing breaking pitches. So Mike is 2-3 with a 5.23 ERA as he works today to the Rangers. It's 2-2. Dewey Robinson was hoping an extra 48 hours of healing would make Mike Hampton feel much better for this game than he did for his bullpen in between starts. Kinsler's hit only 165 on the road, better than 400 at home for Kinsler. Gets underneath that one. Michael Bourne's calling in left center field. One out for Mike Hampton. Fox Sports Houston has a Twitter page. We're tweeting right now, so sign on for additional information and insight at twitter.com/FS Houston.
Well, with that at bat with Kinsler, it was fastballs and changeups. For Mike, hasn't really broken out the breaking pitch yet. It's interesting because some guys, when they throw their curveball, don't use their thumb at all. Mike obviously does, because he said that's the one pitch he has an issue with that thumb.
Ball one low to Michael Young. As you saw, that high batting average of 345, he ranked sixth in the league. But Young sprained that right ankle Friday night, sat out yesterday. That was on the pickoff play at first base from Quintero. Flared into shallow right center. Matsui going out, backpedaling. 2 out for Mike Hampton. This is Mike's first game against an American League club since 2004. Career record in interleague play is 9-10 with a 5.14 ERA. He has not beaten the Rangers in his career. 0-1 in 2 starts with a 9.53 earned run average. Josh Hamilton flexing at the knees, getting ready for this pitch. It's a good one for strike one. Hamilton 237, 5 homers, 19 runs batted in. Banged up a couple of times this season. Barging into outfield walls. Very good defensive player in addition to one of the most powerful players around. Hampton misses, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Hamilton has 2 hits in these 2 games. There will be, of course, a return engagement in Arlington for these 2 clubs. That'll be June 16th through the 18th. A lot of Astros fans like to drive in that direction for that series. 2-1. Ron Washington today. As you see the breakdown on Hampton with more ground ball outs than fly ball outs, and so far 2 fly ball outs in the game. Wash said, yeah, we're the lead dog right now. We're enjoying it. We're not telling everybody how great we are, but this is the way we want to play. He said it was a given that we would hit. We had to work on our defensive play and our pitching this year. And he likes the results. 3 balls and a strike. He said, we're not going to have a swagger about us, but yet we think we belong at first.
Well, they have a lot of good players, and that's been the case for a number of years. They've had a lot of good position players. The pitching has always been suspect.
Carlos Lee backs off the wall, and that one reaches the seats for an opposite field home run for Josh Hamilton. Home run number 6. And the man who hit 32 last year makes it 1-0 Rangers.
This park giveth and this park taketh away. If you hit it to dead center field, unless you get every last bit of it, it's going to stay in the ballpark. But if you go to left field, of course, and he's out in front of that one, hits it off the end of the bat, but he hit it in the right spot.
And the Rangers have hit 7 long balls in this series already.
Hesitant to even call that one a long ball.
Yeah, not very long. Short ball.
They've hit 7 home runs.
Their short game is good to left field. Nelson Cruz 285, 11 homers. He's already set a career high for home runs in a season with 3 this weekend. That one goes to right field. A single for Cruz. Real coming out season so far for this 28-year-old after Hamilton made it 1-0. The Rangers can put up runs in bunches. They've scored 228 times this year.
Cruz has good outfield power. He likes to keep the hands in and drive the ball the other way. Didn't exactly drive that one. The ball got in on him a little bit. This Ranger club, not every single one of them, but they have a number of guys in their lineup who are free swingers. They strike out a lot.
Marlon Byrd gets his first start of the weekend series. Moves back from ball 1.
You know, typically a pitching coach or pitchers are going to promote the idea of being aggressive, throwing strikes, and that certainly makes sense. But there are times too you got to be in certain clubs, certain players you got to be real cautious with, and be too aggressive. They're willing to get themselves out, take advantage of it.
Cruz is 6 for 6 in stolen bases. Hamilton made it 1-0 with the Rangers' 71st long ball. Only the Yankees in Major League Baseball have hit more. That's a liner toward the corner, and one hops the wall. Stop sign at third base for Cruz on a double by Byrd. That's his 15th double. He came into the game 5th in the league in 2 base hits. And by the smile on his face, looks like he got by with one there.
And ball up a little bit and in on him, and he just, it's kind of a soft line drive, but again in a real good spot. And they will pull it down the line. It's a huge at bat here. Astros having a miserable homestand.
Chris Davis puts it in the air to Carlos Lee. That at bat makes it only 1-0 instead of much more. 1 run, 3 hits, 2 left. Astros come up trailing by 1. With McCarthy headed for the mound. Center field for the Astros. He's followed by a surging Miguel Tejada. Lance Berkman hits third at first base. Carlos Lee, the cleanup man, in left field. Hunter Pence also red hot. He's in right field with Jeff Plum at third base. Kazuo Matsui at second. Humberto Quintero, the catcher, for Mike Hampton.
Brandon McCarthy pitches for the Rangers this afternoon. Big, tall righty, 6'7" is Brandon McCarthy. Look at the lines from his last 3 starts. Loss, no decision losses, not one since the beginning of the month. Last time out, threw the ball well, 7 innings of 4 runs, 3 earned at Detroit. And just up against Dontrell Willis and company, who pitched a 1-hitter against the Rangers.
Michael Bourne, 291, a homer, 11 runs batted in. Sends that one out toward left center field. Josh Hamilton over. 1 out for McCarthy.
Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup for Brandon McCarthy. Defensively, the Rangers, brought to you by BMW. David Murphy, Marlon Byrd's in left, Josh Hamilton in center, Cruz is in right. Young, Andrus Kinsler, and Davis on the infield, and Saltalamacchia does the catching this afternoon.
Miguel Tejada on a 7-game hitting streak. And a home run again yesterday. There's strike 1. He hit it to right field, and it was verified after the video review. 329, 5 homers, 25 runs batted in. 3 of his homers have come in the last 4 games. McCarthy missing outside. Count running to 1-1. So Tejada now has 55 hits. He's tied for 5th best in the National League. And with 14 doubles, he's in the top 6. Very good season for Miguel. That's a shot past the diving Young into left, and Tejada now 3 for 3 in his career against Brandon McCarthy.
Now we're talking in the top half of the inning when Davis came up with a couple on how big that at bat was. If the Rangers put a 3 spot on early, the way things have been going for the Astros, it would be very deflating. But just a 1-run game, Not such a big deal. Good swing of the bat there by Miggy. McCarthy throws mostly four-seam fastballs, and he works up in the zone. That's why he's been prone to give up the long ball. I don't know what Saltalamacchia is looking for. Thought that ball was popped up.
Must have, yeah. Lance Berkman does pop it up. It goes to left field. Berg moving over toward the line.
See, that's when you know you've got an extreme fly ball pitcher. Every time the ball is hit, the catcher just looks up.
Yeah.
He was just talking to Fielding Public as he came back after the last one. Maybe he's just checking the roof out.
Maybe. Carlos Lee. 8 homers, 29 runs batted in, a .325 batting average. Everybody comfortable inside today with the threat of rain outdoors. He has a .370 on base average. He looks at ball one. Carlos, a former Ranger, 5 for 18 on this homestand. He's hit .397 in the month of May. And his career average against Texas is the best against any American League club. It's .335. Pops it up. Chris Davis comes over. McCarthy gets out of the way. On out number 3. It's no runs a hit. And a runner stranded. 1-0 Rangers after 1.
Just so hard. So hard.
Life is tough, JD. There's ball one to Saltalamacchia. .252, 4 homers, 18 runs batted in. A switch hitter who's hitting better from this side of the plate. .297. And takes that one for a 2-ball, no strike count. Elvis Andrus is on deck. Longest names in sports.
Yeah, well, his other names are hyphenated. The Kemby Mutombo Mapalando Macumbo?
I don't know about all that. I had to wrap it around his number to get it on his uniform. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Just put Salty on there.
Yeah, Salty works well.
And speaking with the great old-time scout Al Lamacchia, he's here for this series. I wonder if Al was one Saltalamacchia and chopped some of it off.
Well, he might have been. He was telling me there's a ball up the middle and caught by Matsui for out number 1. I was talking about meeting a guy who was to be a Hall of Fame broadcaster back in 1944 in the minor leagues in Missouri. By the name of Harry Carabino.
That's right.
Elvis Andrus is next. Andrus leads all American League rookies in batting average, hits, runs, total bases, triples, on base average, and slugging. .290 average, 3 homers, 9 runs batted in. Fabulous looking player. And he bunts in the air. Foul for strike 1. And he has really displayed his wares in just the 2 brief games of this series so far. Tremendous range at shortstop, fine arm. He had 4 hits, including a homer Friday night. He's 5 for 9 in this series. And the Rangers people say so intelligent. Just 20 years old, from Maracay, Venezuela. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Ron Washington was talking before the game about how Omar Vizquel has been so influential, not only with Elvis, but the other position players, in terms of stressing defensive play on this club. Fly ball to right. Hunter Pence puts it away, 2 down.
And Ron Washington himself, that's how he earned his reputation in the game, being such a good teacher in terms of the defensive fundamentals. Coca-Cola Value Nights, and the next one is June 5th. And with this deal, you'll get 4 tickets, 4 dogs, 4 bottles of any Coca-Cola product, 2 Astros caps, and just $75. That's a sweetheart of a deal.
Very nice deal. Ball 1 to McCarthy, getting his first at bat of the season. They've got a pretty good deal going.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Ron Washington helped tutor a young Miguel Tejada, who came up with Oakland. Eric Chavez gave his Gold Glove to Ron Washington, because Wash helped him so much.
Yeah, that's a good point. Wash said that Cal has been so helpful, because he said some of the Rangers players thought, well, he's just bringing a bunch of Oakland ideas over here. And some of the Rangers players did not necessarily have a positive concept of what Oakland was doing, but he said, I was just talking about good fielding and supporting the pitching staff. Line and caught by Matsui. That's a 1-2-3 second to Mike Hampton. 1-0 Rangers. This is in the first inning. The Astros come up now in the bottom of the second inning with a guy who grew up in Arlington, Texas, Hunter Pence. Let's see if we found a youngster who looks like Hunter in the audience.
Hey, yeah, look at that little guy.
He's got the rally hawk. Starting early. Hunter's on a 5-game hitting streak. Batting average up to .351. 5th best in the league. He's 10th in on base average. .351, 5 homers, 19 runs batted in, and a .422 on base average for Hunter Pence.
Keeps this up, he's going to lose his All-Star break vacation. He'll be working.
That'd be a special thrill. Well, he's on that kind of a pace, isn't he?
Yeah, well, .351 batting average.
Fouled away. We haven't really glanced at the competitors yet. The ballot on the outfield, but certainly have to be up there. And he's hitting .380 at home. Ball, 1 strike to Hunter Pence. 25-year-old Brandon McCarthy, a spring bean. Bounces a curve, 2-1. Last year he was hurt. He had some right forearm injury problems that limited him to 5 starts with the Rangers last year. In 07 he was 5-10 with a 4.87 ERA for them. Drops the hook in for a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Brandon McCarthy's had very good run support. Hunter Pence, 425 in the month of May. Maybe David Wright is better. It's in the air on the right side of the infield. Chris Davis calling. Kinsler is there. Kinsler handles out number 1.
Fox Sports Houston is now on Facebook. Interact with other fans. Get the latest information on upcoming Fox Sports programming. And you'll gather tremendous insight into your home team. Stay connected. Log on to Facebook.com and then search for Fox Sports Houston or FBpage.com.
Jeff Blum hit his first home run yesterday. There is strike 1. 264 average, 1 homer, 15 runs batted in for Jeff. He's on a 3-game hitting streak right now. That was a long drought for him. 176 at bats since his last homer. It covered 56 games. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jeff. He was 2 for 6 in this weekend series.
Yeah, third base, position you hope to get some power from, and the Astros have been lacking in that department. Just 2 now with Blummer and Keppinger. But Jeff's certainly capable. Good change up there.
Yes, it was 2-2. 79-mile-per-hour change. Let gravity pull it down. Some nice arm action on that. Gives you a lot of motion. Line drive into center field. Hit number 2 for the Astros. Just looking at that windup there from McCarthy, and he's so angular. You mentioned 6'7", long arms. Changeup looks like a really good pitch for somebody with that type of delivery.
Right, he works the top of the strike zone with his fastball, and probably a little bit receptive for the hitters. Reminds you a little bit, not as pronounced as, say, Chris Young with San Diego, but the same idea. Big, long guy who can work the top of the zone with the fastball and then come with that same delivery, and throws that changeup down below the knees. Tough to stay back. His problems are when he drops his arm slot a little bit and everything flattens out on him.
Matsui punches it foul for strike one. Coming up later in our Dodge Grab Life feature, what does Lance Berkman pack for a road trip? Stay tuned for that. Well, let's see. Have we seen a guitar? That might be one thing.
Yeah, Elvis is usually carrying.
Rolled out to second base. Kinsler makes the short throw on Matsui. Blum to second. 2 outs. Quintero will bat. Wonder if Elvis Andrus is musically inclined. That would be interesting. He can certainly do all the baseball things. Quintero, 2 hits in 17 at bats, a 118 average, no homers, 2 runs batted in. Quintero starting for the second time in this 3-game series. He started but came out of the game after the 6th inning Friday night. Pudge Rodriguez came in. There's ball 1 with Mike Hampton on deck. And McCarthy's career against the Astros, he's 1-1, but those folks may not care about that. They're just having a good family time out there at the 5-7 Grill. McCarthy drafted by the White Sox in 2002. The Rangers got him in a trade. 1 ball and 1 strike. That was the John Danks trade. Others involved back in December of 2006. Brandon's from Glendale, California. Went to Lamar Community College, junior college in Colorado, and a junior college World Series. He began this season as the number 3 starter in the Rangers rotation. Gets a strike there, and it's 1-2 to Quintero. It's a good day for Pudge yesterday when he was presented with home run ball number 300. Special ceremonies before the ball game. Day game coming tomorrow for the Astros in Cincinnati. Bouncer to second. Kinsler on to first, and it's no runs, a hit and a man left. 1-0 Rangers after 2. The fans enjoying the air-conditioned comfort here. And in about 3 weeks, these two will square off.
Go ahead, whack them.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You know you want to do it.
Good-looking little shirt that guy has on. Neither team has swept a 3-game series in the history of the battle for the boot here at Minute Maid Park. Rangers trying to do that today as they look on. Yes, thanks to the vets, many of whom are on the front lines this weekend as we enjoy a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Ian Kinsler leads it off in the 3rd inning. He hit a fly ball to center as he led off the game. He goes for that one to left field. They're getting up in the Landry's Crawford boxes. Kinsler has unloaded number 12. It's 2-0 Rangers. 33 runs batted in for Kinsler. Came into this game a .397 career hitter against the Astros.
Yeah, you know, it's a good lineup when the leadoff hitter has as many home runs as the cleanup hitter, and that's the case with the Rangers this afternoon. Kinsler now 1 better than Nelson Cruz. This is a hanging changeup. He's a very aggressive hitter. Took a good aggressive hack at a first pitch fastball leading off the ball game. So they come with a changeup here. Just didn't make the pitch. Left it up about letter high. Letter high changeups usually fly a long way.
And Michael Young. 2 balls, no strikes to Young. After another fine season offensively, Kinsler gives them a lot of thump in that leadoff spot. Young, a different type of hitter, just a base hit machine. 3 for 4 in the opener Friday night with an RBI. Now Quintero goes out. Astros had held back Russ Ortiz from yesterday's game just in case there might have been a problem with Mike Hampton. Unable to make today's start, but Mike seemed determined all along that he was fine to take this start today. So Ortiz is there in the bullpen. Young takes a 4-pitch walk. That's number 1 for Hampton.
Well, let me see here. Saturday, June 6, 6:05 game. The first 10,000 adults 16 years of age and older will receive an Astros athletic workout towel. That's courtesy of the Methodist Cancer Center. 1-877-9-ASTROS or astros.com. An athletic workout towel. Not a workout towel or an athletic towel, but an athletic workout towel.
Okay.
This towel can run, it can jump.
Hamilton lines one to the right field corner. Young heads for third base. Hunter Pence has to play it deep in the corner. Stop sign at third from Dave Anderson on a double by Hamilton, his 3rd of the year. 2 extra base hits and 2 at bats for Josh Hamilton.
And just a tremendous player, Josh Hamilton, in terms of batting average not getting a whole lot done so far this year, but you know some pitchers are going to pay the price. And it's a good swing there on that fastball. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. And Mike, primarily fastball changeup in this game, and he said that the thumb was mostly an issue with the breaking pitch, so I'm starting to wonder if it really is bothering him, and he's trying to battle here without all of his weapons. Tough lineup to do that against.
Nelson Cruz single to right field earlier.
And there's the breaking ball there, and he wasn't able to finish it. I don't know if that's just a mechanical issue or if it's a thumb issue. No real way of knowing from up here.
Infielders about halfway with nobody out. Cruz cuts it that one, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike to Nelson.
Yeah, cheating in a little bit. What that does is it forces Michael Young down there at third base to make a decision. If you're playing back all the way, it's easy for him to break excuse me, on a ground ball to the middle. If you kind of hedge your bet by playing your infield halfway in, you give yourself a little bit more range than if you're all the way in. It causes Young to hesitate a little bit, or at least to wait for the ball to squirt through. I don't think you want to play in here. It's just the 3rd inning.
Low for ball 2, 2-2 to Cruz. Cruz doesn't walk much, very aggressive hitter, but the results have been fantastic for him lately.
And he's one of the guys I had in mind back in the 1st inning when I was talking about pitching aggressively or staying out of the zone. He's a guy I think you can probably get outside of the strike zone once you get 2 strikes on him.
Broken bat in the shallow center field. That's a hit. Scoring Young. RBI single for Cruz makes it 3-0. Hamilton to third with nobody out as 4 straight Rangers reach base. RBI number 31 for Cruz.
Mike has not had a whole lot of luck here today. The Hamilton home run into the Crawford boxes, and Bird's double to left. Not all that well struck. This time he breaks Cruz's bat, gets in on him. Takes a little flare into shallow center.
Pitching coach Dewey Robinson at the mound. Cecil Cooper's club trying to avoid being swept. 1-4 on this homestand. Has been swept once in a 3-game series at St. Louis this year. Of 50 games played between these two, they've split them right down the middle. Marlon Byrd doubled to left in the 1st inning. And now they've divided 26 games here at Minute Maid Park. 13 wins for each club in the Interleague Series. Inside for ball 1.
All 6 outs that Mike has recorded so far have been in the air. Really use a double play ball here.
Two 2-0 to Marlon Byrd. Rangers are one of 10 teams with the possibility of sweeping a 3-game series in Major League Baseball this weekend. There's a look at the alignment. Hampton misses to go to 3-0 in the count. Marlon Byrd Had a .298 average last year for the Rangers. 10 homers, 53 runs batted in. Drafted by the Phillies in '99. Then he was with the Nationals. Rangers signed him as a free agent. And the throw goes over on Cruz. Bird has had some major injuries. And after last season, he had microfracture surgery on his left knee. Had to bring him along slower this spring because of that. 3-1. Rangers have the best winning percentage in the American League right now. That's where they rank offensively, second in homers, leading in extra base hits, tied for third in triples. They lead in slugging. They have the best record at 25-17, a .595 winning percentage atop the American League right now. And Ron Washington said before the game, we knew we were going to hit. That much was a given, but we had to improve our pitching and defensive play, and we have done that. He said, long haul, who knows what we're going to do, but right now things are working very nicely. And he said, I'm okay with losing a game if our pitchers are pounding the strike zone. We can't get to balls and make plays on them. I'm okay with losing a game like that, but not with beating ourselves. He said, we've done that way too much in the past. It seems to be a different culture, and one that has a lot of the Rangers faithful thinking, well, maybe a playoff club this year.
Well, we're far enough into the season where I have to say that they've got a pretty good chance. They've played better than a quarter of the season.
Line to left field. The runner at first was taking off. Here's a tag at third. Hamilton will score to make it 4-0 on a sac fly by Bird. Hit that line drive better than his double in the first inning. He picks up RBI number 19. Hamilton scoring, and the Rangers lead by 4 for McCarthy. They continue to support him well offensively. Now Chris Davis. Davis has struck out 64 times. That has to be of concern to the Rangers. But they're playing well. Hit a fly ball to left. Runners at second and third earlier. There's strike one. The player kind of gets a pass to a degree, JD. We're a quarter of the way through the season, roughly. A little bit further for the Rangers than that. So Chris Davis might be treated a little more patiently with the team doing so well than.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. If the club is winning, it basically buys time for any struggling players.
1-1.
The Rangers were 7 or 8 games below 500. Davis might be in AAA right now.
Yeah. He's from Longview, Texas, and the University of Texas. Hit .285 last year, 17 homers and 295 at bats. It's 1-2 to Chris Davis, and he really has value defensively.
Yeah, he's like Gumby down there at first base doing the splits. It's just incredible.
Haven't heard that reference in a while. 1-2 with 1 out. That's to center field. Michael Bourne turning back. Now he turns and makes the catch on the warning track. A long second out. Good catch by Michael Bourne.
That was a dandy. See Michael looking up over his head at the video board watching the replay.
His speed, he can make a catch like that look relatively simple.
And what makes it tough is turning one way and then turning back the other way, making the adjustment. See where a guy get turned around, tangled up.
Saltalamacchia with a runner breaking. Takes a strike to throw. Not in time. Stolen base for Cruz. He's 7 for 7 now.
And the Rangers have been very efficient in the running game. 36 steals. They've only been caught 5 times.
He takes off for third. Here's a throw there. It's on a hop. And they got him. feeling his oats, but he's gone down from 2 to 5 to end the top of the third. 3 runs scoring on 3 hits, nobody left. Why was he doing that? We'll try to figure that out later with a score 4-0 Rangers. Kind of a warm, humid day outside. The roof closed. The air conditioning is on. Fans enjoying the day. Big Memorial Day plans tomorrow. And now here's the bottom of the third inning with Mike Hampton leading it off. The Astros trail 4-0. Brandon McCarthy getting things his way. He's allowed 2 singles. There's a third single, a line shot. Almost more than that as Hampton put one out for hit number 6 of the season. He almost got it by Cruz into the gap in right center. That's always fun to watch him run. He hits a gap. So he improves his .333 batting average with this hit.
Bad pitch, fastball down. He's just a good athlete. He's always swung the bat well. One of the better hitters among all active pitchers. 15 career home runs.
Michael Bourne bounces one slowly. Kinsler gets the out at second base on Hampton. 1 out from 4 to 6. Our league leaders brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. We'll show you the Major League all-time leaders in strikeouts. Will this record ever be matched? Can't see it happening. 5,714. Randy Johnson's at 48-38, but he is definitely slowing down. Roger Clemens 46-72. What do you think, JD?
No, not unless the game. I mean, maybe if Nolan has his way. You know, Nolan's trying to go old school with the Rangers and trying to stretch out their starters. So if he had success and the game continues to evolve backwards, if that makes any sense, maybe we'll go back to a day where pitchers are working every 4th day as opposed to every 5th day, and they're pitching deep into games and disregarding pitch counts and things of that nature. Having said all that, no, nobody's going to break that record. It's just incredible.
You tried your best to allow for the possibility.
Yeah, you always have to, you know. And that's the thing with Nolan, and there's been a lot of talk about this in baseball, how he's got his minor leaguers throwing between starts. He's telling pitchers, we want one more. You know, if you think 6 is good enough, give me 7. If you think 6 1/3, 6 2, give me 7 2/3. Don't worry so much about the pitch counts if you're managing down in the minor leagues. And you know, if a pitcher's laboring, by all means, get him out of there, but don't go strictly by the numbers. And I'm really curious to see how it's going to play out and whether other clubs will start to think along those lines. Because I think what modern baseball has done is it's robbed us of maybe a potential Nolan Ryan type pitcher, a guy who's just a horse that will go out there and give you 300 innings and strike out 300 batters plus.
Yeah.
What modern baseball has done is protected a greater pool of pitchers, I think, from injury. But we haven't been able to discover, you know, those kinds of guys.
Well, Jamie Reed, the head athletic trainer of the Rangers, was saying they had exit interviews with all the players at the end of last season. And this was the culture that was passed along to all the Rangers pitchers. They all bought into it. Runner going. That's a hit. Michael Bourne will continue on to third base on the single by Tejada. He's 2 for 2 in this game and continues to sizzle in the month of May.
With Bourne breaking, Kinsler was running to cover the bag, and that opened up that hole on the right side to see Kinsler breaking. Michael fortunate that ball didn't hit him. With the Astros in business here.
Lance Berkman batting, a 4-0 deficit. Runners at first and third and 1 out. He hit a fly ball to left field. Jamie Reed said the pitchers all bought into it. He gave them all a program, and they got on it over the winter months, so it's been no big surprise when they reported to spring training that these additional things were going to be happening in their programs.
Yeah, one of the things they told them is be ready first day of camp to throw live BP as opposed to those side sessions where you're just kind of working your way into shape. Be ready to throw live BP that very first day of spring training.
It's 2-0. Tom Green was saying that when Nolan Ryan was pitching for the Rangers, he would report typically about 2 weeks later than the other pitchers. Might have done this with the Astros, JD. You might remember.
Yeah, I think he did come a little later.
He said he'd come in about March 1st, and then he would throw 20 minutes of BP. First day in. Bouncer, foul. 2-1. So it was as if to say, that's fine. I'll come in late, but I'll still be able to do more than the rest of you guys my first day out there. He wouldn't state it that way, but just judging by his performance.
No, and and the rules are that everybody now pretty much reports on time, maybe a day or two late. But the saved reporting date is February 15th. The mandatory reporting date typically isn't until March 1st.
2-2 the count. Well, that record for strikeouts is certainly one of the records that would have to be deemed one of the toughest to top. 56-game hitting streak of Joe DiMaggio. 41 wins in a season. Can you see that ever being done again?
Again, not unless the rules change. Some of those old-time pitching rules, they don't even apply because the game was so different. The old Hoss Radbourn, Mickey Welch, and those guys, Bud Galvin, and they made about 70 starts a year and they pitched both ends of a doubleheader. And
3 balls, 2 strikes. Big pitch here with the Astros trailing 4-0 with Carlos Lee on deck. Andrews and Kinsler set up to turn 2. Fake to third, a look to first base.
Ooh, bull block! Hey, you can't do it. Oh, you can't open. You know.
It takes off and it's fouled. Miguel Tejada had set sail. 3 balls, 2 strikes remains the count on Lance Berkman. Lance 0 for 5, and he bats against Brandon McCarthy in his career. McCarthy in that 4-0 loss JD talked about on Tuesday at Detroit gave up 3 earned runs in 7 innings. Fans are ready for a Berkman delivery here. They're going again, swing and a miss. And a strikeout for out number 2. A steal of second by Tejada, his second of the year.
A good overhand curveball that catches Lance way out in front. Saltalamacchia with a slow breaking ball, making sure he stays down and not in position to make a throw on Tejada.
McCarthy versus Carlos Lee. Lee popped the first in the first inning. If the Astros can get a hit here, they can cut that deficit in half. Hunter Pence on deck. Big ball 1 at 91. Rangers starting pitchers have done well as a group. 18 wins, 12 losses, a 4.35 ERA, and they are second in innings pitched by starting pitchers in the American League. So it's working. Out into right center field. Cruz coming in for the grab. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left for the Astros. After 3, Rangers 4, Astros nothing. Astros minor league report and how the various clubs are doing. Round Rock 18-25, Corpus 2 below 500, Lancaster 13-30, Lexington is a couple below 500. The season starts later for Tri-City and Greenville. Brandon Backey 3-0 with a 1.38 ERA in his Double-A rehab starts. He had a Triple-A rehab start last night. Foul back by Saltalamacchia. There's strike 1 in this 4-0 game, and Brandon got in again just about 100 pitches, so he should be proclaimed ready unless there's something we don't know about physically with Brandon. That decision has to be made this week. He went 6 innings, gave up 11 hits, 4 runs, walked 1, fan 3, 96 pitches, 66 for strikes last night for Round Rock for Brandon. That's his 6th rehab start, and the time is just about run out on his 30 days for a pitcher of minor league rehab time. So the Astros have to make a decision here in a couple of days on him. Still no balls, 2 strikes for Saltalamacchia, and who knows what that's going to be? Do you?
I don't know. My hunch is he's going to slot into the rotation somewhere.
Okay. had to start all over with Brandon with his strained side muscle from spring training. He had to pretty much start all over again and go through a spring training type of development to build up the arm strength. He now has had those 6 starts, so he's ready to go. Feels good about it. And his command of the fastball, according to reports, has been very good. Fly ball deep right field. Hunter Pence is out of room. Opposite field home run. Saltalamacchia. That's number 5 for him. And it's 5-0 Rangers. He went deep Friday night as well.
And we showed you those rankings earlier where the Rangers are in the American League, and a prolific offensive club they have been. So over the years, you know, some of that is the ballpark up in Arlington, a very good hitter's park, but this club could just mash.
73 long balls by the Rangers. Tap to shortstop. Elvis Andrus is out number 1. He's 0 for 2.
Well, the good news, all the home runs today have been solo shots. 3 home runs, all solo home runs. Hamilton, Kinsler, and now Saltalamacchia.
Rangers now with 9 homers in this 3-game series so far. Russ Ortiz is throwing for the Astros in the bullpen. Brandon McCarthy taking strike 1. Rangers can square their record on this road trip at 3-3 with a win after being swept in Detroit. 1 ball, 1 strike. They've been a 500 club on the road, 11-11. They'll be playing the Yankees tomorrow. Lefty Matt Harrison going against New York. 1-2 to McCarthy. That should be a high-powered series where those 2 clubs hit home runs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, it wouldn't matter much what the venue was. 2 of the best home run hitting parks in the big leagues this year. Yankees ballpark or Yankee Stadium. 2 down. Aflac trivia time, JD.
Okay.
Let's see what we can find for you.
Noli, I'm guessing.
He's the only player inducted into the Hall of Fame as a Ranger. Name the other 3 inductees who played for the Rangers. Okay.
You know, Ruth was a heck of an athlete too. Big time tennis player in high school.
Yeah, I found out about that one time. Very good tennis.
Did you have a match?
Yeah, she cleaned our clocks. She won a state championship, in fact. Strong player.
Rangers in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that one's okay. Fergie Jenkins. Boots came up with that one. Broken bat roller. Tejada to his right. Throws on the run. Good play to get Kinsler. Saltalamacchia unloads the 3rd long ball for the Rangers, and they stretch their lead out to 5-0 in the 4th. Ryan is the only player inducted as a Ranger. Ferguson, Jenkins, Gaylord Perry, and Goose Gossett. All pitchers, ironically.
Wow. I'm wondering what kind of years Goose and Gaylord had as Rangers.
Yeah.
Well, I have a hard time recalling Goose Gossett in a Ranger uniform.
I don't remember that. 5-0 Rangers. Hunter Pence leads it off in the home 4th. He popped a second in the 2nd inning.
Well, let's see. He was a Ranger. The Goose was in 1991. 1 year. He was 4-2 with a 3.57 ERA.
Okay. Strike to Hunter Pence. Rangers now have won 7 of their last 10 series after a slow start. Davis far to his right. Feed to McCarthy. 1 out. Jeff Plum will be coming up. Astros with day baseball tomorrow from Cincinnati. We'll have Wandy Rodriguez on the mound against Big Aaron Harang.
That sounds like a 2-1 ball game to me.
Very well be, JD. 11:30. Astros Live comes your way.
Oh, baby. Get the charcoal out early. Get it smoking. Give it a good half hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let it get. Put it. Use a chimney.
Okay.
And let it get good and hot, and scatter it, and then give it some good time to get those coals good and hot before you throw on your brats.
Fly ball. Kinsler out. 2 down.
And if you check out the foul poles here at Minute Maid Park, we like to say foul, F-O-W-L, the Chick-fil-A foul poles. And if an Astro hits either of those poles in this game, fans from the ball game can take their ticket stub to any greater Houston area Chick-fil-A and redeem it for a chicken sandwich.
Kazuo Matsui grounded out to second in the second inning. Astros have been held to 4 hits, all singles. While the Rangers have 7 hits, 3 of them homers. Strike 1 to Kazuo. Humberto Quintero's on deck. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And we talked a lot about Nolan and the influence he's had on the Rangers, and Mike Maddox, one of the guys that Nolan wanted, the pitching coach who Nolan knew from Mad Dog's days at Round Rock in the Astros organization, then Mike having success in Milwaukee. And one of the things Mike stresses is tempo. Stay on the attack, be aggressive, throw a lot of strikes. But the tempo too. Just get it and throw. Get it and throw. Don't dawdle.
Okay. Andrews backhands, guns, out at first. Another excellent play by Andrews. And it's a 1-2-3-4 for McCarthy and company. 5-0 Rangers. Steal by Dodge and by Southwest Airlines. Good food, a big part of a Memorial Day weekend. And that youngster looks pretty contented right now. 5-0 Rangers. We go to the 5th inning with Young, Hamilton, and Cruz 2 up against Mike Hampton. Michael Young is 0 for 1 with a walk. Scored a run. The decision came down right before Christmas to move Michael Young to third base. Smacks this one to left center field. Carlos Lee reaching for it. It gets loose, and Michael Young is into second and with a double. Lee went up and tried to catch in left center field. Came up a little bit short on that, and the Rangers have double number 3.
Well, it was a leadoff home run in the 3rd, leadoff home run in the 4th, so this one at least stayed in the ballpark.
3 homers and 3 doubles for the Rangers. Came up about a foot short, it looked like. Josh Hamilton has 1 of each, a home and a double. Taps that one foul, strike 1. Time to announce our progressive fan of the game. Let's go down to Bar Dennis to find out who it is.
All right, Brownie, thanks a lot. David and Kirk Groom here for Kirk's 11th birthday.
That's right. Birthday's this Friday, and we couldn't think of a better way to spend it than here at the Astros game.
And you guys drove all the way in from New Orleans for this.
We did. We drove in last night and spending the day here and then driving back later on this afternoon.
Kirk, you having a good birthday?
Yes.
All right, well, how would an Astros win be for a birthday present?
Good, and I also want Lance Berkman's autograph.
Okay, we'll have to work on both of those. Brownie, back to you.
He doesn't want much, does he?
There you go.
Well, he got a nice blue bag anyway. No balls and 2 strikes. Josh Hamilton. Hamilton takes it, and it's 1-2. A lot of eating going on in that crowd. Hamilton's come back from a right groin strain. Play this weekend. Matsui to his left. Flipping to Berkman. Young to third, 1 out.
Now the Astros down 5 runs already, have no choice but to pull the infield in here. Hamilton able to pull that ball and advance Young to third base.
Nelson Cruz has delivered both times with singles, one to right, one to center. Drove in a run with the second one, stole a base. He swings for strike one. Cruz began with the Mets, then he was traded to Oakland, bounced around to Milwaukee before Texas got him in a trade in July of '06, along with Carlos Lee. That was the Francisco Cordero, Kevin Mensch, Lance Nix trade. One ball, one strike. And he's had some tough times establishing himself, but last year was the MVP in the Pacific Coast League. At .342 for Oklahoma, 37 homers, and then 7 more for the Rangers. So a total of 44 home runs for Cruz in Major and Minor League Baseball last year.
And that was after clearing waivers at the end of spring training. And he was free for any club to pick him up. Nobody did. He went down to AAA, had a monster year, and looks like he's figured things out.
Oh, in one story, his family's been telling him all along, just be patient. He's 28. But for a guy in his 20s who wants to be in the major leagues every day and producing, it can be sometimes a lengthy wait. One hopper. Tejada checks the runner at third. Throws out Cruz, 2 outs. Now Marlon Byrd comes up. David Murphy plays left field usually against right-handed pitchers, but Byrd is in there against the lefty Hampton. Byrd doubled and hit a sac fly. Byrd went to Georgia Tech. Good-looking player coming out of college, and Phillies drafted him in the 10th round in '99, but then he had 3 leg surgeries, and that cost him a couple of years in the minor leagues.
They almost had to amputate his leg.
Yeah. Flared to right field. Hunter Pence waiting. Leadoff double, but no runs for the Rangers on 1 hit and 1 left. 5-0 Texas in the 5th. It's 5-0 Texas with a barrage of 3 homers and 3 doubles has the lead now. The Astros come up in the 5th inning with Humberto Quintero. Jason Michaels is on deck. Russell Ortiz has been warming up in the bullpen. Pitcher spot due up second, and then it's Michael Bourne due to bat third against McCarthy. And showing bunt. Q takes it for ball 1 in the dirt.
Well, Michael Young playing deep at third base. Q thinking about a bunt. Now Young has pulled up even with the bag.
Line drive over shortstop into left center field. Marlon Byrd was playing him exactly there in left center. Good scouting report for the Rangers. And Quintero is on with his 3rd hit of the year.
Shooting for the outside corner, and as you can see, that ball drifts back to the middle.
Now Jason Michaels is the pinch hitter for Mike Hampton. Hampton in 5 innings allowed 8 hits, 5 runs. He had 1 walk. And there's strike 1 to Michaels. And he did not have a strikeout. Michaels is hitting 194. Breaking pitch fouled away. And it's 0-2. J. Mike with 2 hits and 16 at bats as a pinch hitter this season. So Mike Hampton is on the hook right now after giving up a solo homer in the 1st, then 3 runs in the 3rd, including another homer, and another homer in the 4th inning. Hoping for a big Astros rally with a count 1-2 on Michaels. Astros pinch hitters have 8 hits and 60 at bats. No homers, 4 runs batted in. Big curveball, strike 3 called. Second strikeout for McCarthy on the overhand hook.
Yeah, he throws both a curveball and a slider, but the curveball has been a more effective weapon for him here this afternoon. He just locks Jason up with that one.
Yeah, he put that pitch on the shelf for a while, but he's brought it back a couple of starts ago. Just a difference in velocity type pitch. There's strike one to Michael Bourne. Michael's 0 for 2. Foul back. No balls, 2 strikes. Trainer Jamie Reed said, well, we'll see how this conditioning program really takes effect with the pitchers over the long haul, because it hasn't really been hot that much of the time in Arlington yet this year. It is a long, hot summer there, pitching outdoors. Bourne swings through that one, and that'll take care of out number 2. It's strikeout number 3 with Miguel Tejada coming up. Tejada's 2 for 2 in this game. One hit went to left, the other one to right center. So Miggy just about to wrap up a phenomenal month of May. He's driven in 21, and he's hit better than .350.
Need to send the rodeo clown down into the Astros dugout.
Ball 1.
A little clown karma to the dugout.
Yeah.
Might come in handy right about now.
That might. 5-0 deficit. Rangers going for a sweep. The Astros 1-4 on this homestand. Line shot left field corner. Quintero heads for third base. And he'll make it there easily. And Tejada has a double in a 3 for 3 game today.
He is the king of the multi-hit game.
His 15th double of the year.
6 or 7 3-hit games already this year from Miggy. Oh, there you go, right there. It's 8, as a matter of fact. Thigh-high fastball. Got the right man up there. Base hit, drives in 2. It starts to feel a little bit better.
That is 19 multi-hit games for Miggy. That ties in with Ryan Zimmerman of Washington for the league lead. 2 men on for Lance Berkman. He had a couple of men on in the 3rd inning with 1 out, and he struck out. He's 0 for 2. Once again, the Astros are knocking on the door here with this McCarthy and Berkman matchup. 57 pitches so far. A very big load for McCarthy to this point in the game. He delivers ball 1. The Astros have had 12 quality starts pitched against them at Minute Maid Park this year. 2-0, and when that happens, the opponents are 9-3 in this ballpark, so it all has added up to a 9-14 home record for the Astros. Berkman to left center field. Bird is over for the grab. And he thought there was,
how many outs there were.
Yeah, he was ready to make a throw, but it was out number 3. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left after 5. 5-0 Texas. Here with Lance Berkman. Packs for a road trip.
Clothes, my Bible, and usually another book to read. I love to read on the road, so you got to have clothes or you'd be naked.
What about a guitar? He didn't mention
philosophy. That. I wonder how many bats he brings on the road.
Ooh. Good question.
Week-long road trip? I don't know. Probably 8 or 10 bats. He used to be the equipment manager, in the Astros case, Dennis Laborio, who's been here for a good long while now, about 1980. When Dennis came along, it used to be that players would pack their bats in a 2 or 3 like community bat bag. Now everybody has their own bat bag.
Buzz Ortiz 2-2 with a 5.60 ERA takes over here in the 6th inning. Chris Davis to greet him. First pitch, strike one for Ortiz, who worked Friday night in relief. One scoreless inning. Rangers won that one 6-5 in 10, and they won yesterday 6-3. Russ has been both a starter and reliever. Count going to 1-1, and since his last start on May 7th, this is his 4th relief appearance. So he could be one guy affected by the plans on Brandon Backey returning. Fastball makes it 1-2 to Davis. Saltalamacchia on deck. Andrus due up third. In 6 relief outings this season, Ortiz has a 5.23 earned run average. Fly ball, Michael Bourne's way in center. 1 out.
To help celebrate 10 seasons at Minute Maid Park, we've selected 10 games where you'll score a ticket, a hot dog, chips, and soda for just $10. That's quite a deal. Price Matters Days presented by HEB. The next Price Matters Day is Thursday, June 4th. To purchase your tickets, visit Astros.com.
Saltalamacchia homered in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 2. He looks at ball 1. Strike evens the count at 1-1. Elvis Andrus on deck with the Rangers leading 5-0. They've out hit the Astros 8-6 with no errors by either club today. Astros are 9-10 in the month of May. There were 6.5 out at the end of April. They're 7 out at the moment. 2 balls and a strike. There's been a shift of power atop the National League Central in this last week, with the Cardinals winning 5 in a row and the Cubs losing 6 in a row. Cardinals now tied for first with Milwaukee, which has lost the last 2 to Minnesota. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kansas City has finally scored for the first time this weekend at St. Louis and leads 2-0 in the middle of the 5th inning, after the Redbirds had tossed a couple of shutouts. Saltalamacchia with the infield swung around, playing him to pull. He works the count full.
Russ working exclusively out of the stretcher. A lot of relievers do that, but Russ, who has worked both as a starter and a reliever, I guess when he comes out of the pen, he thinks like a relief pitcher, so he's going to stay in the stretch.
And he strikes out Saltalamacchia. First strikeout of the day for Astros pitching.
Got him with a good changeup. Drifting to the outside corner. 7 or 8 miles an hour off of his fastball.
Elvis Andrus has hit a fly ball to right and a ground ball to shortstop in this game. Here's ball 1. What have you thought of him this weekend, just looking at him for 2.5 games, JD?
Well, he made a couple of sparkling plays Friday night. That's what we had heard about him, and he could flat out pick it, and he'd make you go, wow. And he's done that.
Yep.
He was just 20 years of age.
2 balls, no strikes. So we can now understand why the Rangers decided to shift Michael Young to third base to make room for this young man.
I got a feeling he's going to make a lot of money over the next decade or so. I'd like to be his agent.
2-1. Rice defeated Southern Miss 8-6 at Hattiesburg, Mississippi, to win the Conference USA tournament today. That's the 14th consecutive conference title for Rice. 3 different conferences. Lined up the right field line, slicing foul. Thanks to Chuck Poole for that note, and congratulations to Wayne Graham from the Rice Owls.
Is Rice baseball to Conference USA as Memphis basketball is to Conference USA?
Pretty much, yeah.
Have to make that play whilst holding the stool.
Yeah. We haven't seen the catch made all year whilst holding a stool. But he came close to doing it. These guys work hard. You get here early in the afternoon, you see them running all over the ballpark, hauling trunks back and forth, especially on a travel day. A real scramble to get those equipment trunks out to the truck that takes them out to the airplane.
Yeah, people ask me, who are the bad boys? I mean, they're not kids that just get assigned to work a day. These are kids that work in the clubhouse. They're high school kids usually, or just out of high school, probably still playing high school ball or junior college ball. And I mean, it's a tough job, especially when you got night games. They're here at all hours of the night, and then they have to go to school the next day.
Yeah. 2-out walk to Andrews.
The State of Astros history is brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center. 1997, Darryl Kyle throws 7 shutout innings. Bagwell and Biggio both go deep, and the Astros win by a touchdown against the Rockies.
That's quite an achievement, 7 shutout innings in that ballpark. And then, of course, he later pitched for that club. Brandon McCarthy's the batter. There's strike 1 to him. He's lined to second and grounded to second base.
Well, if indeed Russ Ortiz is in trouble with Brandon Backey coming back, if Russ proves to be the odd man out, these outings very important to him. 1, to try to change anybody's mind in the Astros organization who's thinking along those lines, and 2, for scouts who are here watching him pitch.
Yep. Matsui with a toss to Tejada for the force play on Andrews. And he posts a 0 in the 6th inning to keep the score 5-0 Rangers. Time now for the Coors Light Freeze Cam, showing you some scenes of today's game with Matsui up the middle on that play, and then he sinks the liner and catches it just above ground level. And Michael Bourne tracking one down in deep center field. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Bottom of the 6th inning now. It's 5-0 Rangers. Rangers have out hit the Astros 8-6. Rangers have stranded 4. The Astros have left 6. Lee, Pence, and Blum do up in the Houston 6th inning. Carlos is 0 for 2. A pop to first and a fly ball to right. As we mentioned, tomorrow it's Wandy Rodriguez and Aaron Harang. Tuesday night at Cincinnati, Roy Oswalt and Micah Owings. Ball 1 to Carlos, and Wednesday night it's Bronson Arroyo for the Reds. The Astros have yet to name their starter for Wednesday night. 2-0. So that would be Felipe Paulino's spot in the order. 2 balls and a strike. Paulino pitched here Friday night. The Astros have some options and decisions to make regarding Paulino and the others in their rotation, with Backey apparently set to return next week. Big cut by Carlos. 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
And so far it's been pretty darn easy for Brandon McCarthy. He's thrown just 64 pitches. As we enter the 6th inning, he's been in complete command. Comes the big hook.
Tap foul. Still 2-2. Michael Bourne has been kept off base. Miguel Tejada is 3 for 3. The other 3 hits coming from Blum, Quintero, and Hampton.
Carlos reached out and fouled that pitch off. It was about a foot outside, and if you're Saltalamacchia, you have to be thinking, boy, we should be able to jam him. If he's going to cover that far off the outside corner, he's diving out like that, we should be able to get one in on him, see if they try it.
He whacks it on a line, but it's caught by Andrews. He was ready.
They didn't get it in there, and that's always a question you have as a catcher. Is my pitcher capable of getting that ball in there when I ask him to? Because if he makes a mistake over the plate in that situation, it's likely to be hit hard. That ball was blistered, but unfortunately for Carlos, right at Andrews.
Saltalamacchia calling a shutout so far. 6 hits, only 1 for extra bases. Hunter Pence is 0 for 2. Up the middle, and diving Kinsler can't stop it from going through into center field. 6-game hitting streak for Hunter.
Fastball out of third, up a little bit. Good quick stroke by the Hawk.
That's 11 hits in his last 21 at bats. Only 2 Astros who have hit for better averages in May are Lance Berkman, 471, May of last year, and Art Howe, 432, May of 81. Jeff Blum looks at ball 1. Hunter was 425 for this May coming into the game today. Matsui's on deck. Young even with a bag at third as the throw goes to first. Another throw goes over. The Astros, in addition to this series, as you know, will be in Texas in June, play the Rangers, and then Detroit will be coming here. Kansas City will make a trip here. And the Astros will visit Minnesota in interleague play.
What looked like a relatively soft, in quotes, interleague schedules turned out a little different than maybe we expected, with the Rangers playing this good, the Royals, a surprise team, Detroit. Their pitching has been outstanding.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty sturdy test. 2 balls and a strike.
Detroit, the only team in the American League Central above 500 right now. 7 games over the break-even mark, have a 4-game lead over the Royals. If the Royals win today, they'll be back to 500.
Long bounces one. Diving Davis. The toss behind him to McCarthy. Excellent play. 2 outs. Pence to second base.
Saw the flexibility of Davis with the stretch over there at first base earlier. Here a nice play moving to his right. Started his professional career as a third baseman. He's played some outfield. Used to like to go to the ballpark when he was in high school and watch Mark Teixeira play. Now he's got his old job.
Yeah, and doing it quite well. Teixeira, of course, has that excellent defensive reputation too. The Rangers like what Davis has done for them with the glove. Matsui is 0 for 2. 2 grounders for Matsui. Quintero's on deck. There's some stirring in the Astros bullpen. And it's ball 1.
Blum tweak something maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah, something barking.
Yeah. Limping up the first base line, so we'll see if he stays in the game now. It's 2 balls, no strikes. And 3-0 to Matsui. Alberto Arias is warming up for Houston. Derek Holland made his first major league start Friday night here, giving up 3 runs in 5 2/3. Texas winning that game in the 10th. And Scott Feldman started yesterday. 3 runs allowed in 6 2/3. McCarthy shooting for win number 4 today. And there's a walk to Matsui.
Something the Astros haven't done much of this year. Sometimes that's a big part of a big inning. He's drawn a walk.
What's on tap with the Astros is brought to you by Bud Light, showing you Wandy with that 1.83 ERA. And Aaron Harang, that's the matchup tomorrow, 11:30 tomorrow on Fox Sports Houston for Astros Live. Roy Oswalt draws Micah Owings Tuesday night, and Wednesday night it's Felipe Paulino and Bronson Arroyo. Oh, so we do have a starter listed for Wednesday. It was to be announced on the Astros notes, but sometimes we get an email afterwards, so that must have happened since the notes came out. Wandy looking very, very strong as he continues on through May to pitch consistently. 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run against the Brewers. 110 pitches in the win for the Astros in their 5 games on this homestand. He was the winner. Humberto Quintero has 2 men on and 2 outs here in the 6th. There's strike 1. Pitcher spot due up next. Ortiz with the jacket on in the on-deck circle. But the Astros are ready to pinch hit. In the dirt, he swung at it. And it's 0-2 as McCarthy snapped off the big hook.
Yeah, that curveball right there, very difficult for the hitter to pick up, and he really uses his leverage at 6'7". There's no hump in that curveball.
Strike 3. That's number 4 for McCarthy. He ends his 6th shutout inning with no runs a hit, 2 men stranded, and it's a 5-0 Ranger lead. To you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center, by Nissan, by Kawasaki, and by TEX AT HOU. Click it or ticket. 5-0 ball game. The Rangers have built a lead through 6 over the Astros. Edwin Masonette goes in at third base. Jeff Plum leaving with an injury on that ground out just a few moments ago. He was limping up the first base line. Masonette takes over at third. And the Rangers, who have out hit the Astros 8-7, come up here in the 7th inning against Russ Ortiz, who's due up first in the bottom half of the inning. Ian Kinsler hit a homer in the 3rd. He's 1 for 3. 3 Ranger long balls in this game. And he gets a slider for strike 1 from Russ Ortiz, who had a scoreless 6th inning as he came in relief of Mike Hampton. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Ortiz, part of a veteran starting rotation when the season opened. He pitched twice in relief before he was needed as the number 5 starter in Pittsburgh. He won his first 2 starts at home over the Dodgers in Milwaukee. Bouncer to Masonette. 1 out. Michael Young doubled in the 5th inning. He walked and scored in the 3rd. Young 1 for 2 today.
Look at him. Got a little look on his face. Got a little dirt, chalk flying.
Upstairs, and there's ball 1 to Young from Covina, California. He was an all-star in 05, also 04 and 06, and again last year. 4 times Michael has gone to the all-star game. It's 2 balls, no strikes. And you were noting how good a hitter he was Friday night when he took the ball to right field a few times. He's moved positions before. He moved from second to short. after Soriano came in a trade.
And most real high average hitters are guys that use the whole field, that stay back and spray the ball all over the diamond. You know, there's the occasional, Ted Williams, a great example, the pull hitter who hit for a high average. But most of the guys that are battling for a batting crown every year are guys that use the whole field.
3-1 the count. Young was a .385 career hitter at Minute Maid Park before he came into this weekend series and got 3 hits in the opener. Another one today. Fouled away, and it's 3-2 to Michael Young. Travis Metcalf was in the mix at third base, but the Rangers didn't like their options there, and that's one reason they made this move. They felt that Andrus, even though he had not played above Double-A, was ready to go, and they told Young about it before Christmas. The initial reaction was not favorable from Michael Young and his agent. There was talk of a trade and things of that nature, but it has settled down. And Michael's been a good third baseman. Range has improved since earlier in the season, we're told. A lot of times it has to be demonstrated to a player who's a veteran, 32 years of age, coming off a Gold Glove season, why he has to move. But that's been pretty well demonstrated to a lot of people. Tejada to his right. 2 outs.
Well, and you can understand why, because you know, Michael Young, not as rare as it once was, but to have a real good hitting shortstop used to be fairly unique. And so you're more of a standout as a productive shortstop than you are as a third baseman. Again, there's been a shift in that over the years. There's plenty of good offensive shortstops in the game now.
Josh Hamilton looks at strike one. The paid attendance is 36,749. Well, it's working quite well. And Blaylock is not viewed as a very good defensive player at third base. He would be another possibility. No balls, 2 strikes.
When he first came along, it looked like he was going to be the guy there for a long time. Well, if you can play shortstop in terms of range, you ought to be able to play third base. Just the timing is different.
And in the American League, there's that luxury of moving a player to DH if you don't really find a good position for him, or if there's somebody better at his position. So 0-2 to Hamilton. Ed Romero, Cecil Cooper talking it over on the bench with the score 5-0 Rangers. Hamilton fouls it back. Hamilton was the first player drafted in '99 by Tampa Bay, and then the Cubs took him in the Rule 5 draft, but they had already agreed to trade him to Cincinnati with a cash payment involved to move up to a different pick. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes, and then traded him for Edinson Volquez and Danny Herrera in a deal which has brought just a marvelous offensive player and outfielder in Hamilton to the Rangers, but also a very good pitcher in Volquez, and Herrera's been serviceable in the bullpen for the Reds. Really an interesting trade. A player for
and they were both all-stars the year after the deal was made.
Yeah. But top flight pitcher, top flight position player, those are really fun deals for the fans to chew over when they're made in the wintertime. See how they're going to go. Bouncer into right field. Hamilton gets his 3rd hit of this game. Came into the day hitting .237. He's 3 for 4.
Got the hands back on the breaking pitch. Just throwing the ball well here this afternoon. Pretty good zip on the heater. Good command of the slider and curveball.
Nelson Cruz faces him now. Cruz is 2 for 3 with an RBI. And there's ball 1.
got to make sure you do your work inside on this guy. He covers that outside part of the plate so well.
Yeah.
Kind of inclined to drive it to right field. I think you got to make sure you come hard in on him.
It's 2 balls, no strikes to Nelson Cruz. Been known as a guy who has a big swing and has had trouble in the past with breaking balls.
Might swing hard right here.
2-1 to count.
Pretty good heater right there. Guy sitting dead red and a 2-0 fastball, and Russ able to slip it by him at 93 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm. Three balls and a strike. Cruz has the ability to zone in on a pitch here. Russ Ortiz didn't pitch at all last year. The previous fastball went up on the board at 93, so he's regained some arm strength nicely after Tommy John surgery in September of 2007. It's 3-2 now. Surprising he took that pitch.
Yeah, I think he got caught guessing that they maybe going to try to fool him with an off-speed pitch. But that's a 3-1 heater right down the middle.
Wow, that's the pitch you want. That situation. Runner going 3-2, and he hits a lesser pitch and grounds it to shortstop. For the third out, no runs, a hit, and a man left. Middle of the 7th inning. We'll keep it right here for God Bless America with the score: Rangers 5, Astros nothing.
Memorial Day weekend.
And Saltalamacchia. Tejada 3 for 3 for Houston with a stolen base. One of those hits a double. It's his 19th multi-hit game of the season to tie him for the National League lead. 5-0. The Rangers lead it. Bottom of the 7th inning. Brendan McCarthy looking strong today. Throwing a high fastball, and there's ball 1. Russ Ortiz staying in the game to bat, leading off this home 7th. He's 2 for 9 with a homer this season. And shoots that one to left center field. Marlon Byrd takes care of out number 1. The Astros box scores presented by Firestone, showing you the breakdown on all the Astros hitters in this ball game. Total of 7 hits, 3 by Tejada. And so Russ Ortiz gets a chance to stay in.
I think a couple of things that work there. 1, Russ is throwing the ball well. 2, he swings the bat pretty well. And 3, the Astros bench a little light now that Mason Ed had to go in and replace Blum due to injury.
Good point. Foul pop here. Here's the angle for Elvis.
Oh.
2 outs.
You know, it's the kind of game where you're going to need miraculous is too strong a word, but get a lot of work to do between now and the end of this ball game to come back in this one. So you got to keep your pinch hitters available for some RBI opportunities. Keppinger, Rodriguez, and Erstad remain on the bench and just battling that one a little bit before finally putting it away.
Jeff Geary, Russ Ortiz talk it over. Jeff Blum left with a left hamstring strain. He's day to day. Miguel Tejada, 2 singles and a double. Josh Hamilton plays him in right center field with 2 outs in the home 7th. Big curveball works for strike 1 for McCarthy. Chicago and San Diego play later, with the Padres going for a sweep. They've had a really nice week. Padres have gotten just excellent pitching all week long, and they've won 8 in a row now.
Who has?
San Diego.
They have.
Yeah, that kind of captures.
I'm aware of that.
Some intrigue there for people who don't necessarily read those box scores every day. What?
Like
who?
me?
Who won 8? What?
San Diego.
Well,
huh?
they're only a game under 500 now.
Wow.
But get this, the Dodgers have an 8.5 game lead over second place San Diego right now.
Who needs Manny?
1 ball, 2 strikes. And there's a shot into left field. He hit it off his shoe tops for hit number 4 of the game. They had a 4 for 4 in this day.
Yeah, when he gets hot like this, as a pitcher, you're like, I don't know where to go. Go up, he hits it. Go down, he hits it. In, out, doesn't matter. You're not supposed to hit that pitch hard.
That's an amazing display.
That's just great eye-hand coordination there.
And a 4-hit game here on May 7th against the Cubs. Now another one. And a terrific month of May. Now he's aboard for Lance Berkman, who's 0 for 3. With the 5-0 lead, Davis plays behind Tejada at first. Lance taking ball 1. Carlos Lee's on deck. Flared foul. Michael Young digs for it. Sitting on top of the Rangers dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I feel like McCarthy's got one of those invisible fastballs. Those 4-seam fastballs, a little riding action. It's just hard for the hitters to center it up. Constantly just getting underneath a little bit, popping it up. Kind of Alfred E. Newman looking guy, but he can pitch.
Yeah. Did Alfred ever do any pitching?
I think so. A pretty good curveball.
2 balls and a strike. Ran across some old pitchers' nicknames today, JD. Hugh Losing Pitcher Mulcahy.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah. Back in the 30s, well, 80, 90 years ago, they had those cruel nicknames for pitchers.
But the deaf guys, they call him Dummy Hoy.
Yeah, that's right. And then one pitcher had the nickname Line Drive. So you could tell what they thought of him.
Yeah. Fred Early Shower Jones. Just no beating around the bush, no subtleties whatsoever. And there was another guy way back, Garland Dining Car Buckeye.
Oh.
His name. I think he was a position player, but he just killed the food on the trains. His nickname was Dining Car.
Wasn't known at all for his playing skills, just his dining skills. Berkman, and it goes to Davis, who's playing behind the runner, so that pays off for the Rangers to keep the shutout going for McCarthy. 5-0 Texas after 7.
Minute Maid Park this season. Help us pick the best moment in our 10-year bracket challenge. Do it at Astros.com.
Is this the last day to vote, JD?
For this particular week, it is.
Marlon Byrd has a double. Sack fly. You mean there are going to be more weeks?
This bracket challenge is just revving up.
Yeah. We've got a whole summer to go with that, don't we? Strike one on Marlon Byrd.
And remember, folks, a 12 seed almost always, at least once a year, will knock off a 5.
That's important to know.
Yep.
Considering the bracket challenge strategy. Marlon Byrd, broken bat, rolls it out to Miggy Tejada. That's 7 outs in the game for Russ Ortiz. He's allowed a single in 2 1/3 innings and a walk. Chris Davis is 0 for 3. Rockies beat the Tigers 3-1. Jason Hamill won that one over Dontrell Willis with a save from Houston Street. The Brewers and the Twins play tonight in Minnesota. Davis has hit the ball in the air all 3 times. Now the mitt was way down low. The pitch was upstairs, but it works for strike 1.
Yeah, and we assume when you see that happen that the pitcher missed his spot, but sometimes as a pitcher you just disregard. The catcher will call a fastball, and he might ask you for a certain spot, and you want to throw it somewhere else, and you'll just go ahead and make the pitch you want to make.
Okay. Hit into right field, a single for Davis. He's 1 for 4.
Because you're ready to go, and you don't want to shake location necessarily. You just want to make the pitch. Follow the Astros on your iPhone and iPod Touch with MLB.com at Bat 2009, featuring play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcasts. Visit Astros.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase.
$5-0 ball game. 10 hits for the Rangers, 8 for the Astros. Saltalamacchia has one of the 3 long balls. That came in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 3. Double play up for Tejada and Matsui. That's strike 1. Those 3 Cardinals 2, bottom of the 7th at St. Louis. Giants and Mariners just underway. No score in Seattle. In on his hands, and Saltalamacchia fouls it back for an 0-2 count now. Rick Ankiel is back in the lineup for the Cardinals today in St. Louis. He's been out for a while. Joel Pinheiro pitching for them, and Brian Bannister started but is no longer in the game now for Kansas City. The Battle of Missouri, those are the 2 natural rivals who play every year, just as the Astros and Rangers do in the same state, home and home. Snap throw to first, diving back in Davis.
1985 World Series, right? Kansas City, St. Louis. What they call it, the I? Is it I-85?
Yeah, it's the Don Deckinger World Series. No, it's the it's I-70. I-70.
I-70.
Yeah. No series should ever be known for an umpire, right?
No, not from the umpire's point of view.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
You got a lot of hate, man.
Yeah, that's not right. Roll to first. Berkman throwing to second, gets the force play there on Davis. On 3-6 for out number 2. Umpires are going to miss calls. That's going to the extreme. Elvis Andrus is 0 for 2 with a walk.
What was the call? I'm trying to remember the play in that
call
series.
at first. Todd Worrell was taking to throw the pitcher for the Cardinals at first base, and was it Willie Wilson who was running? Somebody fast for the Royals. Can't remember exactly. And, the Cardinals thought they had him, and he was called safe, and then that turned that game around.
And then the Royals blew him out in Game 7, right? That's when Joaquin Andujar started. And
Fred Saberhagen, I think, pitched for Kansas City. Yeah. 13-0 or something weird like that.
Yeah, I was on my honeymoon. I was in Jamaica.
You probably didn't hang on every pitch.
Well, they couldn't even get it.
Okay. Sometimes that's good when you're on your honeymoon, not to be able to get a ball game.
Yeah, it wasn't a high priority.
Or were you trying it on shortwave radio or anything like that? 1 ball and 1 strike.
But it's Saberhagen.
But honey, I'll only listen until Saberhagen is out of the game.
Boy, man, was he good. Look back at some of the years he had. Strikeout. Talked a lot about strikeout to walk ratio. He was standing.
He just didn't walk anybody. And what a live arm. 2 balls and a strike. Yeah, those were some crazy numbers. Walk and strikeout on him. Well, how about this? I read an old copy of the baseball abstract today, 1985, reading about Nolan Ryan. Bill James historical abstract. Bouncer by Masonette into the left field corner. Extra bases here, and Saltalamacchia is stopping. On the side from Dave Anderson on the double by Andrews. That's his 4th double. He now has 3 homers, 4 doubles, and 4 triples this year.
For the 2nd time in this game, walked in the 6th. Now this double, and the Rangers looking for more. And Dave Anderson keeping a close watch on this one. If this gets by Lee, they're going to score the run, but Carlos able to slam on the brakes. And because it's such a short left field, Anderson realized 2 pretty quick throws, probably gets his man, throws the stop sign up for Saltalamacchia.
Now it's McCarthy. McCarthy's 0 for 3. And there's ball 1.
So the baseball abstract, what do you have to say?
Well, back in 1985, now that's way before the end of Nolan Ryan's career, they had him ranked as the 23rd best right-handed starting pitcher of all time. And Bill James said, well, I'll kind of go against the grain of a lot of sabermetricians and say that he should be in the Hall of Fame at this point. No balls and 2 strikes. And a lot of I think the analysis of the body of work that Nolan had, part of statisticians, was well, look at his record, but look at the record of the teams he pitched for. Not good.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the statisticians, and I guess the thinking has evolved over the years, because the statisticians now would argue that the one-loss record is one of the least significant ways to analyze a pitcher.
Very good. 2-1 McCarthy. How's it back, and it's 2-2. And just reading Nolan's autobiography last night, Harvey Fromer wrote that. That was back in about '88. And Nolan talked about how when he was with the Mets, and again his first year with the Angels, he kept telling Ruth that he wanted to quit. Pretty amazing stuff. Bounce to the left side. Tejada comes after it. Throws in time to get McCarthy. And in the 8th inning, it's no runs, 2 hits, a couple of men left. 5-0 Rangers. Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. It's 5-0 Rangers. Looks like some dark clouds out there in the distance beyond the left field wall. Could be creating some rain, and that's why the roof has been closed today. That threat of rain.
Maybe it's a symbolism.
It could be. Yeah, a dark cloud following the Astros around.
Astros are kind of like the Eeyore of baseball this week. Anything going on this homestand. Need a little infusion of Tigger.
Carlos Lee is 0 for 3. He leads it off. They try to be Tigger. And then it's Hunter Pence, and Edwin Masonette is due to bat third. Brandon McCarthy spacing 8 hits, 4 of them by Tejada. And the Astros have stranded 9 in this game. There's ball 1. Kevin Millwood's had a very nice year for the Rangers as a lead man in their starting rotation. Foul back. Millwood with 3.12 ERA for 9 starts. He's completed 2 of those. Matt Harrison has 2 complete games for the Rangers, total of 4. Now it's 2-1 to Carlos Lee. .335 career hitter against the Rangers. White Sox lead the Pirates 3-2, top of the 9th at Chicago. 3-1. Right now, as of this very moment, the National League and American League are tied in interleague play, 15 wins each. Foul ball. The center fielder Josh Hamilton's back. 1 out. Hunter Pence single to center field in the 6th. He's 1 for 3. It's getting a lot darker. I'll be on that left field wall at the moment.
See where Joey Votto taken out of the lineup again today due to dizziness.
Uh-oh. He had just come back from that dizziness problem. Inner ear infection, and now apparently he's going to need more attention. Strike 1 to Hunter. So maybe he will not be in the lineup tomorrow afternoon against Wandy Rodriguez.
It's kind of what I'm hoping.
Yeah, because Votto has had a pretty good season against the Astros so far, if memory serves.
One of the best young hitters in the game. He's hitting up around close to 370 the last time I looked.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, the Reds have had their way with the Astros so far. The Astros going back to division play, where they have not fared well at all, to the tune of 9-17. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hutter.
Our old buddy Brad Lidge continues to struggle with the Phillies.
Ooh.
Yankees scoring in the bottom of the 9th to tie the game there. I don't know if Brad was in or not.
He was in yesterday and had a rough time. Strike 3 and a big hook. 5th strikeout from McCarthy.
It's a great complimentary pitch to that high fastball he likes to throw. Comes out of his hand on the same plane as that high heater and then just whoop. See, he really locks Hunter up.
Edwin Masonette's the batter. Just joined the Astros for this weekend series. There's ball 1. 309 at Round Rock. No homers, 5 runs batted in 27 games. He's 0 for 2 as an Astro. Both in pinch hit assignments. He replaced Jason Smith on the roster, and Smith was designated for assignment. 2 balls, no strikes. Masonette 1 for 7 with the Astros last September. So they got that first major league hit out of the way. It's 3-0. Pirates have just scored a run in the top of the 9th to tie the White Sox 3-3. Mark Burley had a good outing for 7 innings, giving up 1 run, but on 12 hits. 3 balls and a strike. Eric Hinsky hit a home run for the Buccos. Brian Anderson hit 1 for the Sox. 3-2. So the Sox had made agreement on that deal for Jake Peavy. He said he didn't want to come there.
It's the same day they gave up 20 runs to the Twins. It's a bad day for Sox Nation.
They've had a rough week too. Fly ball left center field by Masonette. And Marlon Byrd is there for the 3rd out. After 8, it's 5-0 Rangers. Our display by Josh Hamilton to left field in the 1st inning, number 6. By Ian Kinsler, the leadoff man, in the 3rd inning, number 12. And in the 4th inning, Jared Saltalamacchia belts number 5 of the year. The Rangers have hit 9 home runs in this 3-game series. They lead it today 5-0. Dark clouds are getting ever closer as the 9th inning gets underway. Nice Memorial Day cap. Russ Ortiz needs 1 out for the longest relief performance by an Astro this season. There is strike 1. He's worked 3 innings already in relief. And Ian Kinsler homered in the 3rd. He's 1 for 4. Young and Hamilton to follow in the Ranger 9th inning as they try to find the baseball down there. Yeah, they got it dislodged. That's some customer service for you. Fly ball, Hunter Pence in right. There's 1 out. Looks like the skies are just going to open up out there, JD. Very dark out in left center field.
They better get off that roof deck, folks.
They're scrambling. You can see a few folks still up there. Michael Young doubled in the 5th. He's 1 for 3 with a walk.
You know, usually you argue that solo home runs don't hurt you, but 3 of them today, and the reality is they've only needed 1 of them because McCarthy's been so good.
Yes. Strike to Young. Astros have been shut out 4 times this season. They will come up in the 9th inning with Matsui, Quintero, and the pitcher spot due up. It's really windy in here. Ground ball to 3rd. Masonette makes a good play. 2 outs. Those flags are whipping around in center field.
There's a different look on the rally cap. Well, if you're looking for a silver lining in all those black clouds, there are 2 here today. Miguel Tejada having another big day, 4 out of 4, and Russ Ortiz coming out of that pen to throw the ball very well.
Yes, he has. He's thrown 60 pitches. Josh Hamilton 3 for 4.
His stuff has been good. His command has been good, and I like his tempo. He's a very deliberate worker. He's picked up the pace a little bit here this afternoon. Time to bail, folks.
Well, they're milking that very last moment up there on the rooftop. They're not going anywhere. They're going to stick it out. Foul back by Hamilton. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Such an explosive athlete, Hamilton. He's got about a size 19 shoe.
Yes.
And he can run like crazy. He's just a tremendous physical specimen. As he gets ready to swing, he has this little move where he just kind of coils a little bit. And they talk a lot about that in golf, about the coil. You see how he'll just tuck that front shoulder a little bit to load up on that back leg.
Check swing. Brian O'Nora with a call.
This was the kind of hitter I like to pitch inside, because I was always afraid if I left it out over the outer third, he might hit a line drive off my forehead. So if I make a mistake he might hit it 600 feet, but it's only a home run. If I hang a changeup out over the outer third, he might kill me.
Yeah.
I'll take the home run.
Well, he's far off his pace from a year ago when he was American League Player of the Month for April and again for May. 3 balls and a strike. He was quite a hitter and a pitcher in high school at Raleigh, North Carolina. Foul ball. 3-2 now. Red Sox lead the Mets 8-5 in the top of the 7th inning at Boston. Red Sox trying to prevent a sweep. Mike Lowell hit his 8th home run. Russ Ortiz now at 65 pitches for the day. That keeps him stretched out in case he would go back into the rotation. And there's a 2-out walk to him.
He thought he made a pitch.
Yeah.
And a little comeback fastball to the inside corner.
Russ threw his arms up. With Cobras might not like that a whole lot.
He checked himself. He started and he said, okay.
Just stretching. Yep. Practicing that stretch. Now here's Cruz. Cruz looks at strike 1. Cruz is 2 for 4 with an RBI. Ramon Castro is homered for the Mets today. There's Brandon McCarthy, who has shut out the Astros for 8 on 8 hits. Tim Wakefield and Tim Redding were the starters in that Boston Mets game. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. In the NL East, it's the Phillies by a half game over the Mets right now. Atlanta trails by a game and a half.
Yeah, it was Brad Lidge that gave up that bottom of the 9th run to the Yankees to tie that ball game.
Ooh. His ERA's over 9.
Yeah. 115 or something like that.
That's rough. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I was just thinking about this time of year, JD, just past the quarter pole of the season. You know, a lot of people in baseball don't want to make any hasty moves until about this time. Now, about this time, the pitchers have had, 8, 9 starts. And relievers have had a bunch of appearances. And hitters have had about 150 at-bats or so. 130 at-bats. So you're not really wanting to rush things over the long baseball season. But about a quarter in, if you've got pitchers with ERAs over 8 or 9 and hitters hitting 150, things of that nature, then you're forced to address them sometimes, depending on how the team's doing.
Right, and we were talking about that earlier with Chris Davis here struggling for the Rangers, but his team is winning, and the same for Brad Lidge. He's really struggled, but the Phillies in first place by half a game coming into play this afternoon. The thing that strikes me is this mentality with the closer that he's my guy, therefore I'm going to continue to use him. I'm not saying scuttle Brad Lidge completely, but give somebody else maybe an opportunity and change the role up a little bit. Get some other people in the mix.
Yeah, that happened here, Brad.
But even at that, there had to be this almost like a designation. He's no longer my closer. This guy isn't. Why can't they just be late inning relievers, and I'm going to manage the situation the best I see fit, as opposed to designating this guy's my closer? And the short answer is because that covers the manager. If he can say, he's my closer, this is his job, then if he failed, it's not on me, it's on him.
It goes on 3-2, fouled straight back. But let's say a struggling hitter is moved from the 3rd spot to the 6th spot in the order. What would be the big difference in doing that with a relief pitcher?
Right. That's exactly my point. I think it depends, too, on the makeup of your staff and the arms you have available. Sometimes there are clearly guys that you want in that role, but it's always nice to have a 1 and a 1A.
Going on 3-2, and it's popped up off the end of the bat. Quintero underneath. How about that? 4 innings of relief. Scoreless ball for Russ Ortiz. 5-0 Rangers. Bottom of the 9th coming. Airlines, by your Texas Ford dealers, by the Progressive Insurance Group, and by Bud Light. This could be a major league first for Brandon McCarthy. Not that he's pitching indoors with rain outside, but that he is able to complete a game for the first time. Does not have one of those on his major league log. 8 innings of 8 hits, scoreless ball, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Kazuo Matsui leads it off in the 9th. And looks at ball 1. Matsui's 0 for 2 with 2 ground ball outs and a walk. McCarthy has pitched 106 pitches. Fly ball behind first base. Ian Kinsler has the angle on it into foul ground. Went out and we saw a bolt of lightning out there.
Brandon McCarthy probably has no idea what's happening outside. He is so locked in with what's going on. There's 60 feet 6 inches between the mound and home plate, looking for not only his first complete game but a shutout at that. Trying to keep those emotions in check and keep that one hitter at a time mentality that has served him so well here this afternoon.
Humberto Quintero with Darren Erstad on deck. Strike 1. McCarthy came into this game with 16 major league wins, 22 losses, and a 4.69 ERA. Owen Ryan has to like what his pitchers have been doing. This complete game mentality is something that wore very well for him over the years.
Well, it's a good fit in that, Ron Washington, an old school guy, played the game the right way. Took Wash till he was 30 years of age to reach the big leagues, and then he had a nice big league career as a utility player.
Line to left field. Quintero's on. He's had 2 hits in this game. Nice day for Q now that he's getting back into the mix, catching a couple times in this series.
Wanted to go upstairs with the fastball, and he didn't get it up there. Good swing by Q.
Pinch hitter's Darren Erstad for Russ Ortiz. Russ in 4 innings allowed 3 hits, no runs. Walking 2 and fanning 1. Excellent relief stint. Longest of the year by an Astro. Erstad 156. No homers, 2 runs batted in. Frustrating year for Darren, who looks at strike 1. He's had 45 at bats. As a pinch hitter, 4 for 17. He's driven in a couple. Cleveland and Cincinnati are tied in the 11th, 3-3 at Cincinnati. Popped up. Andrus. 2 outs. The Astros are 1 out away from being shut out for the 5th time this season.
Just 114 pitches under his belt and no indication that he's tiring. You get the sense that McCarthy could probably give you 11 or 12 shutout innings here today.
Mike Michael Bourne is 0 for 4. Here's ball one. 0 for 8 the last 2 games. He had 3 hits Friday night as he was promoted to that leadoff spot. In the Thursday night game against Milwaukee, he was leading off and 0 for 4. One and one to count. Rangers trying to accomplish what neither of these two teams has done in interleague play against each other. Sweep a 3-game series at Minute Maid Park. Quintero moves to second base. That's strike 2. Fielder's indifference. No stolen base for Quintero. Miguel Tejada, who's 4 for 4, is on deck. Bouncer to first, goes foul. Jerry Hairston Jr. hit his 5th home run for Cincinnati against Cleveland today. Cliff Lee started that game for the Tribe, giving up 3 runs in 6 innings. Johnny Cueto gave up 3 runs, 2 of them earned in 7 innings for the Reds. 80 degrees at Great American Ballpark today. Foul back. They've had warmer weather than that the last couple of days. Very unseasonably hot in Cincinnati. Cool there where they received the foul ball. Ron Washington feels very good about this Ranger team, which could be 26-17 with a win today.
Trying to get Michael to chase that high fastball. He did back in the 5th. Struck out going after that high heater. It's one when you're sitting in the dugout or sitting in the stands, you're looking out, don't swing at that. That's awfully tough. There's a lot of pitchers who made their living with that pitch right there.
Bourne tried to check, and that is a strikeout to end it. And the Astros are blank for the 5th time. It's the first major league complete game and shutout for Brandon McCarthy, who had been averaging 5 1/3 innings per start in his first 8 starts. The Rangers sweep the 3-game series from the Astros. Final score today 5-0 as McCarthy goes to 4-2 and Mike Hampton's 2-4. The next Astros telecast comes your way tomorrow from Cincinnati. The Astros open a 6-game road trip with the Reds.